Hey, good evening, folks. Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Update for the markets. We started off pretty hot, and then, we faded the rest of the day. Even though it doesn't really show it as much on the indices, most of my watch list was just, really, really faded. So it looks like, really that first hour we kind of made our big thrust, and then sideline all day. Sideline all day, but the price action alone in the stocks that I trade, we had a lot of stocks that were making strong moves at the open, and pretty much my whole watch list faded and closed. Not necessarily near low of days, but very weak. So just something to keep an eye on. Even though the market itself was strong, and it looks like it's breaking range highs. It's a little bit tricky. Same thing with IWM, right? This is the Russell 2000. We smacked right into the 50-day moving average. Might give us, a setup tomorrow for some early morning weakness. And then we'll see kind of what happens. It was a tricky day today. It was a really tricky day. That first hour was like you had to make your gains and then either bail or flip short, even though you didn't necessarily see that in the indices, at least in the S&P. Let's take a look at the watch list for today. NETE, I got this on watch for short. We were shorting this today, and one trade we did good, one trade was a disaster. And it kind of just evened itself out. But I got this on watch for short. If you see this thing, you know, if you see this thing with the real light open and it goes green to red or something like that, watch for a real big flush. If not, I have a hard time believing this bad boy gets over this 200-day moving average. But either way, it's going to be in trade. It's going to be in play. A lot of volume and stuff like that. GRH, big fader. We had this thing short at 330 today at the open. Usually when a stock closes this type of this week, if you get an early morning push on this one, you'll get a decent short setup if you can smack it into some level of resistance. So I got this on short watch. TEDU, this is a pretty good chart. After this big run, we had an easy-go-lucky pullback, broke over the 20. It looks like this one wants to get back to 14. This is a base breakout form, and if we can kind of get over this range right here, looks like a run to 5, but definitely on watch. UNXL, I haven't taken this in the last couple days. I've just been watching it as this thing tends to pop and fade. We did get a little bit of expanding volume in it today, but it got sold off. It popped almost a 9. It got sold off. It's just coiling tighter and tighter. It's going to be a tricky one. I would not chase this one on highs unless it's at the open. At the open, it tends to spike up and then fade. So you can get an opening range play, but otherwise you got to make sure that you get really good entries on it. It's going to go one of these days, and it's going to go hot, but it just happens to be that it's acting funky and it trades a little bit thin at times, so you got to really make sure that you get good entries. Leads you. I've been watching this one, today. I'm not that familiar with the stock, but it does look like we want to get a kind of IPO breakout over here over 13. I think ideally a couple days of rest here and then a run to 13. Past 13s will work, but I like the look of this one. LITB, still watching this one on the bottom here. Just shaking out all the, shaking everything out after its earnings pop. EMS finally started peeking out of its range today. It's still in play for day trades and stuff like that. It looks like this one is going to break out. Eagly, it's slowly getting towards that 2 level that I've been watching. It seems to kind of tap it and then fade back, but still got this bad boy on watch. ZAG, really firming up here. As long as this kind of 540 level holds, it looks like this one's going to get back to 6. SPLK starting to round up a little bit. If the market kind of flushes, though, or we get some weakness, we'll see some quick shorts and something like this. It could be technically a bear flag, but it almost looks like it's bottoming here. But there's going to be multiple ways to play it. And then the VHI, I'm still not seeing enough volume really in this thing to kind of play this. It's going to be one of those things when the day goes, you're going to start to see it really stream in. And this one is done. So that's it for now, guys. Short watch list. As you know, it's earnings season. When it's earnings season, I want to be scouring the market for news and things like that to play. Tomorrow, later on, we'll see this PBYI. After hours, this thing was at like $170 or something like that. So, this thing's going to be in play tomorrow. I would not try to chase this thing up at the open when opens up 200%. One of the things that you'll have to do is let the thing settle out. You might have to give it even an hour and then kind of get a direction of which one it and which way it's going to go. My guess is that the spread on this bad boy is going to be pretty high due to the high dollar. So for those of you guys in our Click Fund that trade kind of 100, 200, 300 share blocks, you want to stay away from it. If it's got a $3 spread, right off the bat, you could be up or down $900 depending on your fill and things like that. So make sure you trade it really, really small in size accordingly, and be very careful. Don't just chase this thing because it's hot. You want to make sure that any area you get, you're able to have a proper setup. So that's it for now, guys. Let me know if you guys need anything, and I will see you all tomorrow.